Did Bryson win or did Rory lose?
I think it's a little of both, to be honest, because Bryson still went out and won it. And that's, I guess, easy to say, considering Rory missed or bogeyed, I guess, 3 of his last 4 holes. Although the first bogey was a spectacular bogey, just to be able to keep that ball on the green after he airmailed 15 when it got a tough hop, rolls all the way back into the native area. It's up against one of those tufts of grass back there, and he's just got to punch it, get it on the feet, or get it on the green, hangs on 2 putts for his bogey, but then missing a 3-footer and a 4-footer. At the same time, the shot that Bryson hit out of that bunker, he went and won it. Right? He was in trouble. He's staring a potential playoff in the face if he doesn't get it up and down, and he delivered with one of the more spectacular and memorable shots in major championship history. It's one people are going to talk about. It's one where we talk about every time we go to Erin Hills, and there's the little plaque for Justin Thomas after he got home in 2 on 18, and people are always going to want to throw a ball down and try. People are going to want to throw a ball down and try that shot on 18 at Pinehurst. That's just, you're at 18 at Torrey Pines. You want to try that shot from Tiger.
17 at Whistling Straits.
17 at Whistling Straits.
Spieth.
Yep. Yeah, trying to get up and down from the Ryder Cup. Yes, it's one of the memorable shots.
Yeah.
Because it was...
Even Matt Fitzgerald at Brookline, the country club.
Oh, yeah.
His 9-iron from the sand that won him the U.S. Open a couple of years ago.
So, it was a spectacular shot. Like, absolutely needed it. He stepped up and got it. But he also got a little bit of help from Rory in order to... it's one of those things where it wasn't this big of a comeback, but when the Patriots had to come back against the Falcons in the Super Bowl when they were down 28-3, Falcons had to help them out a little bit. We don't necessarily talk about that part, but the Falcons had to help them out a little bit, and Rory had to help out Bryson a little bit in order for Bryson to pull it off.
We witnessed one of the greatest up and downs in major championship history. There's no doubt about it. The shot Bryson hit 55 yards from a bunker to that green. I've been on that green. It is incredible how hard it is to keep a ball on that green. And he put it to a couple of feet and made the putt too, right? But Rory lost this. And I think the bigger story was the choke by Rory. Because we've seen him contend in the last decade at an unbelievable rate. Since his last win 10 years ago, 37 majors he's participated in, 4 runners-up, 11 top 5s, 21 top 10s. The last 3 years alone, Gabe, 4 top 3 finishes, including back-to-back runner-ups now at the U.S. Open. But what made this Sunday different for Rory versus some of the ones we've seen recently, St. Andrews, last year at the U.S. Open, he was making the putts.
He had the lead.
He was making the long putts on the back 9. He had the stretch of 4 birdies in 5 holes. That's what we had not seen from Rory recently in these majors. We've seen a lot of backdoor top 10s, top 5s from McIlroy. But he had this one in his hands. He had a 2-shot lead. And then...
he had a 2-shot lead on the back 9.
It was the most human he's ever looked on a golf course. A true one-of-us moment, but in the most heartbreaking fashion that I can remember as a golf fan, when he missed that putt under 3 feet on 16, he made this look where he put his hands down and he said, relax, relax. And it sounded like he was saying it to the crowd, but he was definitely saying it to himself, like, Rory, you need to chill. And I was like, okay, he's still got a lead. He's going to figure this out. Bogeying 3 of the final 4 holes, when you have it on your fingertips, was a collapse that, frankly, I don't know how he recovers from this, Gabe. And that's what my mind keeps going back to. These professional golfers are built differently from you and I, but this is how yips are born. This is how demons are born.
Well, the demons, I think, already existed. I think that's part of it.
But you know
I think like this is the closest. This is the closest he's actually been, because you mentioned some of the U.S. Open last year where he finished second. He had opportunities like trying to hit and miss hit the wedge shot on the par 5.
He made
at
one
LACC.
birdie in the final round.
Yeah,
at LACC.
Yeah, and he had the birdies going. He had the lead. And I don't know if it just kind of caught up to him and he started thinking the same things I thought when he was standing there on 16 when he missed the short par putt. I was thinking, okay, that's in the hole. Because again, it was under 3 feet, which he had not missed an under 3-footer all year.
496 for 496 inside 3 feet this golf season before that putt on 16.
I was already thinking about it. Oh, okay, two pars and Rory wins the U.S. Open. 2 pars, because that was already, so I think that's what happened. Just 2 more pars, and he just lost a little bit of focus on that, and then he pulls that one, pulls a little 2 foot 6 inch putt, and now he's got a left to righter, slippery down the hill, certainly a tough putt, not that tough of a putt for a professional, and I think it was Smiley on the broadcast who just went, it's slippery, but you hit this with a little pace, you keep it inside the hole. And then they cut to Rory, and he's very obviously aiming outside the hole, and I knew he was missing it.
But he missed it low.
Because you know what happens after you pull a putt? Same thing after you just, you pull a drive really bad, right? Well, for me, right. For everybody else, left. You know where the next one's going? So he pulled the putt, and now he's thinking about, I pulled that putt on 16. This is a left to righter. I got to make sure I don't pull this. And he doesn't hit it with any sort of pace, doesn't hit it with any sort of making pace, just kind of that's a putt I've made before, just kind of wishing it goes in. No, you gotta hit that with a little bit of pace and deal with the comebacker in order to make that. And Rory knows that.
Yeah.
But the putt from 16 certainly was in his head on 18. And the second he lined up outside the hole, even if he had just hit that with a little bit of pace, but he just kind of decells through it, leaves the putter head open, and it just dives below the hole. It was sad. And you're right.
It was heartbreaking. And I'm a huge Rory fan.
Yep.
You're a huge Rory fan.
Same.
Am I upset that Bryson won? I'm not.
No.
But I'm really upset that Rory lost.
Because again, I feel like Bryson still had to execute shots to go get it.
Yeah.
It's not like, after Bryson missed his shorty, after Bryson missed his short putt, on, what was that, 14, 15, whatever it was. Like, he executed down the stretch, hit some really good shots, and really didn't get squirrely until he got to 18, when he hit one way left, somehow finding a tree on that hole that he had to somehow deal with, not just the branches, but the root, and hit, I think, a pretty good shot to get out of there and somehow get into jail, which is the bunker he was in. Like, he executed the shots he needed to execute.
The 18th hole for both Rory and Bryson is why number 2 shines. Because there's only so much bullying of the golf ball you can do on a course like that. They both found themselves with really hard second shots, and they had to make incredible up and downs in order to make a par. Rory didn't, Bryson did. And it happened in the biggest moment of perhaps both of their golf careers. Definitely for Bryson at this point. But for Rory, this choke is going to stay with him until he wins the next. And if he wins the next.